welcome back to another video. The NHL Stanley Cup playoffs are finally here. I believe it starts on Monday. And you know what you got to do? You got to do the NHL bracket challenge. So if you ever want to do this challenge or if you want to partake and create your own bracket, all you got to do is search up NHL playoff bracket in Google and you'll be able to find it. But let's get right into it. For sure, we're starting off. We're going to go left to right. So we're going to start in the west, then go to the east. We're making some upsets here. All right. So let's start it off. We're not crazy, though. Colorado versus the Nashville Predators. Colorado, I believe, finished with the most points in the NHL. Them or Florida. I can't remember if Florida ended up edging them out. I think Colorado held on. But Colorado, probably the favorite to win the Stanley Cup, according to the polls that we've done. So definitely one of the best teams in the league. Nashville's got an uphill battle here. Roman Josi and the boys. Roman Josi did have a career year. Philip Forsberg played well. Matt Duchene played well. But Nathan McKinnon, Cal McCarr, Mikko Rantanen, Gabriel Landeskog, Nazem the Dream Kadri. I'm going Colorado, and I'm going to do... Oh, it shows a little comparison there. So Florida won the President's Trophy. Interesting. So number of games. How do I fill this out? Let me choose. Number of games. 5? Doesn't really let me do that, but all right. We're going to keep going. I'll see if I can figure that out later. Minnesota versus St. Louis. This is where the first upset will be coming, in my opinion. Actually, pretty close in the standings. Minnesota finishes with 2 points more. But look at the goals against average, power play percentage, penalty kill, Kirill Kaprizov, Vladimir Tarasenko. I mean, all the numbers favor the St. Louis Blues. I think in the playoffs, they're going to be a little bit more efficient. I do like Minnesota. I would like to see them make a run. But in this series, I'm going to take the St. Louis Blues. And I don't know how to enter the games. But I'm going to say St. Louis in 6. Colorado in 5. Next up, the Calgary Flames versus the Dallas Stars. And I'm not going to go off script here. I think the Calgary Flames do win this one pretty easily. I mean, goals for per game, they're scoring almost a goal more than them. The goals against is fantastic. I mean, 2.51. Power play is good. Penalty kill is good. Johnny Gaudreau, 100-point season. Matt Tkachuk, 100-point season. Elias Lindholm, absolute stud. Not to say that Dallas isn't good, but I don't think this one will be a competitive series as well as the Colorado series there. And then finally, the first round matchup of the final first round matchup of the Western Conference. We have the Edmonton Oilers taking on the LA Kings. So if we look at their stats here, pretty close, but the goals for per game, a definite increase for the Edmonton Oilers with two of the best players in the league on their team with Leon Draisaitl and then Connor McDavid, the stud. Goals against per game, they will have the goaltending edge here. I will say that. They probably have the defensive edge as well. But penalty kill percentage, both of them not the greatest. But look at the power play, 16% to 26%. So I think that's going to actually play a huge factor in this. And Edmonton, I do have taking it. Okay, here we go. So we got to choose the games. So Colorado in 5. Calgary in 5. St. Louis is going to get it done in 6. And Edmonton is going to get it done in 5. Boom. Book it. Book it. But let's go to the right side of the bracket now. Finish this part off. Up after, we have the Florida Panthers and the Washington Capitals. And I believe Ovechkin is back, but look at that. 4.14 goals against, or goals for per game, 2.86. I mean, Washington 3.31, OV league scorer versus Jonathan Huberdeau. Penalty kill, not the greatest for both sides, but that's okay. Power play, you would think this power play would be a little bit better, but this is where I'm taking another upset. Give me Washington in 6 games. And I'm putting it there. Next up, the beloved Toronto Maple Leafs. Austin Matthews, John Tavares, Willie Nylander, Morgan Riley, Jack Campbell, the best player in the NHL, Jason Spezza, taking on the 2-time defending Stanley Cup champions, Steven Stamkos, Nikita Kucherov. Looking at the stats here, just edged them out barely. Goals for per game. The goals against, this is the big difference. Power play 27, I don't even know. And penalty kill. Their special teams are really good. Matthews versus Stamkos. Stamkos has a resurgence here. Finally, no injuries for him. It feels like it's been like 5, 6, 7 years since you've had that. But the goaltending will probably be the difference. But give me an upset here. The Toronto Maple Leafs taking out the Tampa Bay Lightning. Jason Spezza, road to a Stanley Cup. People are not going to like that. Leafs fans will love it, but everyone else not going to like that. I just want to see them get out of the first round. Although it is funny to watch them struggle and claw. But here we go. Next one, we got the Metro Division in Carolina Hurricanes taking on the wild card one, which is the Boston Bruins and Carolina Boston. Two really good teams. Look at that penalty kill percentage. 88. I think Boston's been a good team for a very long time, but I think it comes down to goaltending, and I think that Carolina has the better goaltending, and I think they have really good forwards to go along with it. Sebastian Aho is just as good as Brad Marchand, in my opinion. One of the most underrated players in the league. Pasternak will be a problem, but I think Carolina gets it done, and Boston has an early first-round exit. I think if Boston plays Toronto, though, the funny part is, I think Boston wins. Just how it goes. Just how it goes. And then finally, the New York Rangers versus the Pittsburgh Penguins. This is a tough one because I feel like you can never bet against Sidney Crosby. How do you bet against Sidney Crosby, Evgeny Malkin, Chris Letang, all of these guys? But it's something about this Rangers team. They're a defensive team. Defensive teams win championships. And with Shesterkin playing as well as he is, Panarin, Zibanejad, Lafreniere is a big body. I feel like he's going to be really effective in the playoffs. There's Adam Fox. I think Pittsburgh will win, but I'm going with the Rangers. I'm going with the Rangers here, and I'm going in 7-6 for the Toronto Maple Leafs. No way they sweep or get it done earlier, in my opinion. And then for Washington, I'm going in 6 games as well. And then Carolina, I think it's going to be a relative domination. 5 games. Submit predictions. All right. On to the final 8 here. The Elite 8, as basketball calls it. Colorado, St. Louis. I'm taking Colorado here. I think Colorado is gearing up for a very big run this year. And I think St. Louis is a tough matchup. I think they match up really well against each other, but I just think Colorado is a little bit better at this point. The one thing for Colorado is their penalty kill. They got to clean that up. 79% is not going to cut it. Edmonton versus the Calgary Flames. Battle of Alberta. This is going to be a 6 series if this does end up going down. But I think there's a huge goaltending advantage for the Calgary Flames, which I know they tried pursuing Markstrom when he was a free agent. Didn't end up getting him, but this is going to be a fun series here. Milan Lucic versus old team. I believe he's still on the Calgary Flames. But this is purely from my heart because I'm an Edmonton fan. I'm taking them. I'm taking Edmonton. Let's go. I want to see a McKinnon Western Conference Finals here. All the way back to the right side here. We got Toronto and the Washington Capitals, and we got Carolina and New York. I don't know what to do here. Do I say Toronto can beat Washington? Do I say it? Like the goal scoring will be there. I'll give it. Let's send Toronto. Let's send Toronto here. Clearly not living in a real world, but the way I look at it is if Toronto can get out of this first series, they have a good chance of winning the cup. You know, their path isn't insanely hard. I mean, Washington, if they do get Florida, that's a different story. Florida's a tough matchup there, but I'm gonna go Washington. Here. I think Washington does pull off the upset, but then falls to Toronto in round number 2. It also depends on if Ovechkin gets hurt or if Ovechkin's playing or anything. To note here, Ovechkin is supposed to come back for game number 1, but if he's not there, I think Florida wins the series. Just gonna throw it out there. And then down here, Carolina versus the New York Rangers. So 2 really good defensive teams. I think Carolina's a better goal scoring team. But here we go. I'm going upset again. Give me the Rangers. Give me the Rangers over Carolina. Now we got our final 4. And I don't care who wins the cup out of any of these 4, realistically. Rangers, sure. Edmonton, would love it. Colorado, couldn't care less. Jason Spezza, I don't care what the rest of these damn Leafs, but Jason Spezza, he's a hero. Give him a cup. But here we go. Rangers versus Toronto. And I think, honestly, give me the Rangers. Give me the Rangers to the Stanley Cup Finals. Give me the Rangers to the Stanley Cup Finals here. Matchup analysis. Two good scoring teams. Or not good scoring teams, sorry. Not good scoring at all. 2 good power play teams. 2 good penalty kills. So very good on special teams for both of them. I just don't. I can't say Toronto's going to win a cup. I barely want to say they make it past round 2. Round 2, I think they edge it out, but I don't know. I'm torn. I'm doing this live, just first take. Colorado, Edmonton Oilers. Give me the Edmonton Oilers. All right? Give me Connor McDavid. Bring him to the Stanley Cup. I need all this nonsense stopping if he's not the best player in the world. Connor McDavid, best player in the world. And then in the finals, Edmonton, New York Rangers. I mean, this is basically goal scoring versus goaltending. And who's going to be victorious? Give me the Edmonton Oilers. The Stanley Cup is coming back to Canada, boys. Realistically, this is all from my heart. This is nothing else but from there. There's a lot of chance. I did choose a lot of upsets here. And, I mean, Rangers making all the way to Stanley Cup Finals. Edmonton making all the way to Stanley Cup Finals, winning the Cup. I don't know about that, but let's do it. 45 goals are going to be scored. Submit. It has been submitted. The picks are in. I think people are going to be very surprised that Florida doesn't make it out of round 1. Tampa Bay doesn't make it out of round 1. Calgary only goes to round 2. But this is how it is. This is how it is. It's been saved. It's been saved. My picks are in. So I'm going to bring this up in NHL 22 and let's see how EA simulates it. But this is my bracket. Let's check out NHL 22 and how they have theirs. Just so it's all done by EA, I am grabbing the last official roster patch from EA Sports. So I'm not doing any custom ones. April 26th should have all the correct rosters. Playoffs have been loaded in to NHL 22 on the PS5 version. Latest update, latest patch update. So all the matchups are in the correct order here. So let's see how it turns out. We see who is going to win the Stanley Cup according to NHL 22 and see how close it is to my predictions. After the first round of simulations, there was some upsets here. Colorado eliminated the Minnesota Wild, take down the Blues. I had the Blues, so I'm 0 for 2 in my bracket right now. Dallas takes down Calgary, and Edmonton takes down the Kings. On the right side, Washington does take down Florida. Toronto does take down Tampa. Boston takes down Carolina. And then finally, Pittsburgh destroys the Tampa Bay Lightning, the New York Rangers. So I'm not looking too good on my side of the bracket. I had Colorado, I had St. Louis, I had Calgary, and I had Edmonton. So on the left side, only 1 for 4. On the right side, I had Washington, I had Tampa, or I had Toronto, not Tampa. Yeah, I had Washington, Toronto, Carolina, and the Rangers. So 2 for 4. Not looking too good here. Round 2 in the books. Nashville continues upsetting as they move past the Minnesota Wild. Dallas takes care of Edmonton. So we got a Dallas versus Nashville Western Conference Finals. And Washington takes out the Toronto Maple Leafs in 7. And Boston continues dominating as they take down Pittsburgh 4-1. So we got Boston and Washington. And then Dallas and the new Nashville Predators. God, I'm struggling here. Stanley Cup Finals are the Dallas Stars, which is a surprise, but, you know, and the Washington Capitals, which is another surprise. So Dallas and Washington, Alexander Ovechkin looking to bring home another Stanley Cup. Let's take a look at the stats here. Ovechkin is leading the way with 23 points. Kuznetsov right there. Joe Pavelski, look at that. John Carlson, 19 apples. Ryan Johansson played well. Anyone else for Dallas? Roop Hintz, 17 points, really good. Radulov's going. I mean, I don't think Radulov's playing that well in real life, but we'll give it to him here. But Washington versus Dallas in the Stanley Cup Finals. Let's do this game by game here. Simulate the next game. Washington takes game 1. They take game number 2. They take game number 3. And the Washington Capitals, I mean, you're in a good spot. Up 3-0. 3-2 now, though. 3-3. Game 7. Washington was up 3-0 in this series. Dallas claws all the way back, and we got ourselves a game 7. First period, Nick Backstrom and Joe Pavelski score. Second period, Joe Pavelski gets another one, and is the Dallas Stars. Are the Dallas Stars really going to make this comeback? Johan Larsson gets a goal for the Capitals. He gets another 2 huge goals from depth there, but Jamie Benn, Captain Ben, comes in and ties it right back up as they are, oh my God, Ryan Suter puts him ahead with 8 minutes left, 3 minutes, 2 minutes, and the Dallas Stars come back from a 3-0 hole. Woo! That would be a tough time to be a Washington Capitals fan. But according to NHL, that's how the bracket is going to go. The Dallas Stars will be Stanley Cup champions at the end of this year with an amazing Stanley Cup Finals comeback. Don't think that's ever been done in the Stanley Cup Finals, but there it is. Who do you guys think is going to win the Stanley Cup this year? I got the Edmonton Oilers. I'd like to see Colorado win. I'd almost like to see any team win, but Tampa Bay again. I'd like to switch it up. I don't want to see Pittsburgh win again. They've won enough. And the rest of them, I'm okay with it. But I got Edmonton. NHL has Dallas. Who do you got? Thank you for watching. Enjoy the playoffs. Go Sens, go.